Hello everyone, welcome to today's cybersecurity class. I will be dealing with web application security. Now, a very important tool we'll be using for various web security analysis is Burp Suite, popularly known as Burp. So I'm going to be loading it up now. This is just follow the procedure. You discover that it's very simple. I move down here, then I can either type it or just locate it. I prefer typing it. Now, the moment I click on it, you see it begins to load. Now, this tool is actually very key when it comes to automating the processes in web security. You could decide to use manual testing. You could decide to automate your testing. Now, even if you want to use manual testing or you want to automate the testing, Burp is still like a very popular tool that is used by professional penetration testers. Okay, following the cursor, you can see that after the first prompt came up, I had to click on start. After the second one, and that's all you need to do. Then wait for it to load. Now, talking about web application penetration testing, otherwise known as WAPT, is a fundamental aspect of cybersecurity. What it implies is that does this field alone can be tagged as some people's domain, like that's their area of expertise. Now, my main focus will be on this tool called Burp because the previous class we treated OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. So I won't spend a lot of time talking about the vulnerabilities. Instead, this video is dedicated for explaining Burp and how to use Burp. So at the very beginning, it's good to note that Burp is a collection of integrated tools. Judging from what you can see on the screen here, you can tell that it's a collection of integrated tools that allow for effective security testing of modern day web applications. The emphasis on modern day web application is because we are not testing traditional web apps or web apps that have been used a very long time ago. No, instead we are testing recent web applications whereby security policies are updated. Now, moving further, this tool is a piece of modern software that is written in Java. Now, before we proceed with the rundown of the different sections or the different features this tool has, it's very good to note that there is a professional version or edition and there is a community edition. As you can see here, it's obvious that this is the community edition. So Burp Suite community edition. Now, there are differences between the free version and the pro version. Now, we say something like the scanner. This scanner is provided for free if you are using Zap, that's OWASP Zap scanner. Meanwhile, for Burp, the professional edition will give you that feature. But you can see here, we have the dashboard, we have the targets, we have proxy, we have intruder, repeater, sequence, decoder, comparer, logger, extensions, then learn. Now, these are, we can call them features. Let's just call them features. Then these other ones, let's call them sub features. Why am I calling these sub features? Because it's like a tree. This is like a subset of this. Sitemap is a subset of targets. We move to proxy. We have different sub features there. So intercept is a sub feature of proxy. It's under proxy. Same goes with HTTP history and WebSocket history. Another advantage of using professional edition is that it can allow you to save and restore your work. Now, we've already started we've already started this application. Before we delve into it properly, it is important to know that there is something they call a proxy. Now, look at this place here. Just follow the cursor. You see what they call, you can see open browser. Open browser. So now, there are two ways proxies work. First of all, it's very good to explain what a proxy is. Now, while I explain it, just know I don't want to go to my Microsoft Word. Okay, now proxy, or let me say Burp Suite proxy, is a tool, or is a tool, or it's an intercepting proxy. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean the tool is actually very, very important when it comes to intercepting. Now, an intercepting proxy intercepts all the traffic that is sent towards it from the client and all the resulting responses from the server as well. So the primary job of the now you can see that the browser has already loaded. Now the primary function of the sorry for the delay. While the browser is loaded, it's like an ordinary or like, let me say, the normal kind of browser that we used to know. So we can always use anything. Let's check Hello World to be sure it's functioning. Hello World. Then the browser loads up. Now that we have something like this, okay, wait, while we wait for it to load. Okay, now it's a normal browser. This is the browser that is like inside Burp. Like Burp is like an inside tool. So Burp Suite comes along with a browser. So we can either use the browser here, or we can use the browser that is on our Kali machine. Now, what is the difference between both of them? The difference boils down to the aspect of proxy. Now, using this browser, we don't need to set up proxy for this browser. The proxy is already set up. I just remembered now that the explanation for proxy is not like fully framed. Okay, still on this browser, let's search for proxy. Then we have this. Now, the primary job of the Burp Suite proxy tool is to intercept regular web traffic, which goes over HTTP and with additional configuration. Also, it's good to note that it can intercept HTTPS traffic as well. Yeah. So this proxy we are talking about, remember, it is Burp Suite proxy tool. It's actually used to, it makes it easy for you to see all interactions and data that goes to and from the web server. Yeah, if you can see what's happening, if you can see it in terms of requests and responses, you can test the website security using various techniques and approaches available to you. Now, like we said earlier on, Burp Suite can be used to intercept any client-server communication that goes over HTTP. Mind you, I'm just using HTTP for now. I can as well use HTTPS. If you notice, they canceled this HTTPS, meaning that whatever information that is transferred from here, this is like an intercepting tool, like we explained earlier on. This is like an intercepting tool. Yeah. Some desktop software is very good to know too. Some desktop software they don't send out HTTP requests. Yeah. Or this, a better way of explaining it is that some desktop software that does not send out HTTP requests do not have any provision to specify proxy information. So proceeding from here, we would now navigate to a normal traditional browser and see how it works from there.